Now I understand the feel you're talking about, Phil. It was just a stop, and I see that you've managed to snag one yourself there.
Yeah, it's pretty active in here.
Okay, get it off my fin here. Get it up in the reel as quick as I can without forgetting I have a fish on. As Phil likes to point out, you gotta remember you got a fish on, so keep the tension on. And this is bulldogging, so I'm assuming it's a brown. It might be a rainbow, but I'm assuming it's a brown. Rainbows like to come up and jump. The browns, they bulldog like this. Well, and it's Ash, so give me a good fight. Oh, it's taking some line. All right. Now, I don't want to put too much pressure on them, as I only have a light tippet. And they're very, very strong fish. Well, now I'm getting a flash of them, and I think I do have a brown. Now, actually, I'll get Phil. Go ahead, Phil. Get him for me. Thank you very much, sir.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Put the anchor down for you here so we're not drifting away. I'll let you do the honors, sir. Yeah, took the chironomid. That's a beautiful little brown there.
Yeah, I've got no complaints about that one. And another fine Parkland brown. Whoops, whoop. Not exactly a classic release, but it's a fine Parkland brown. This area is incredible. Phil, let's talk a little bit about flies. Now, I know there's 3 basic flies that you should have for stillwater, which are scuds, chironomids, and leeches. Could you tell us a little bit more about them, what we need to look for in these flies?
Certainly, Bill. The first one I've got here is a box of my chironomids, or one of my boxes. I have a bit of a chironomid addiction. But down the left-hand side, or my left of the box, I have a selection of chironomid larval patterns, or bloodworm as they're commonly known. Very good pattern to fish throughout the season, long life cycle, and lots of species, so lots of opportunity for imitation. On this side here, and if I flip over, you'll see more here, quite a range of sizes and colors in chironomid pupa. And the pupa is the stage after the larva transforms and travels up to the surface. They use trapped air and gases to do this, so your patterns need to have a degree of shine to them to simulate that. Lots of different body colors, blacks, browns, shades of olives and greens, lots of contrasting ribs, red wire, gold wire, copper wire, silver wire, lots of use of bead heads to help sync the pattern, prominent white gills, whether they're yarn such as this, or white beads, which really work well in algae waters because they don't foul up with the algae. So that's a good basic chironomid selection. And again, it's a year-round food source, or an all-season-long food source.
Now, we got scuds here. Tell me a little bit about them.
Well, scuds are another staple there on these productive lakes here. For example, in Manitoba, they're just chocker block full of big Gammarus and Hyalella scuds. There's 2 families to consider, size being the only differentiator. Gammarus
They
being
look the same, just one's bigger than the other.
Gammarus are the bigger ones. And again, simple patterns, dubbed bodies, shellbacks on them of raffia, midge flex, pearl mylar, those kind of materials, bead heads on the front to help them get down a little bit in choppy water and give a little flash and sparkle, and just a range of colors, predominantly greens, shades of olive green. They match the bottom vegetation, so your fly pattern selection should match those. So a good selection of scuds, probably from a number 10 down through 16, and a number 12 would be a good average scud pattern to work.
Here's the leeches.
Yeah, the next box here we have the leech boxes, the big bushy ones, and I've also got some forage fish in here as well, which is another important food source in the Parkland region. But you can see an awful lot of marabou and rabbit used in here.
That really moves in the water.
Yeah, it just comes to life, and we need that because the leech has that undulating motion, and we need to imitate that. And we use lots of different colors, blacks, clarets, browns, olives, darker colors. You got to consider leeches are active in low light conditions, so patterns that push water give a good acoustic footprint will be good too. Trout can hone in on them with their lateral line. We've got a few minnow patterns up at the top here as well. We need to have those. In these lakes we have fathead minnows, sticklebacks, so whatever lakes you're fishing, there's so many minnow patterns and baitfish patterns out nowadays. You just got to change its colors to match ones in your local waters. So that's a good starting point for the flies you want to carry. And then there's others, there's damselflies and dragonflies. And every lake, like every river and stream, has different different invertebrate populations. And some lakes have better caddis than others. And then we have damsel and dragon populations. So you're
And
always...
that's through experimentation you find out if that's happening.
Yeah, you'll build up a collection of flies in pretty short order. Oh, no, he's still there. I thought he'd thrown it. Again, this is on the naked technique, double chironomid, the black and red. Gave him, if one is good, two is better. And again, this take was very soft. It just felt like a slight weight on the line, a weedy sensation is probably the best thing I can describe. And I just instinctively raised the rod. Again, that low rod position, all I have to do is raise the rod to about 10, 11 o'clock. If the fish is there, he'll react, and this one did. And he's just doing the typical tiger bulldog here. And again, you see how that soft to moderate action rod really absorbs those head shakes. Well, this is a big tiger. And there's that nice chironomid hook set right in the top part of the jaw. And that is a nice big tiger trout. Again, chironomids are such an important food source for stillwater trout. Probably the #1 food item over the course of the year on many productive still waters throughout the West and North America. But that is a gorgeous tiger.
I'm Tom Rosenbauer. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this and you want to see more, subscribe and you can get all our weekly uploads.